everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you were the, I don't know, first 5 viewers that actually watched our intro video, you'll know that, and if you're a fan of Jay and Silent Bob, I think you'll understand the role I played in the first intro video. Yeah. So we thought maybe I would kick things off here in the beginning so that everybody knows that I'm not Silent Jason, but at the same time a contributor to what we're doing. But excited to kick this off with everybody. This is our review of Kentucky Vintage, which will be the first pour that will go out to our society members. And my friend and expert here was wonderful enough to create these beautiful tasting cards, because if I didn't have this, me, like many of you, probably would be searching for the tastes and searching for the notes that are going on in my head when I'm sipping bourbon like this, but at the same time I just can't find the words to describe what it is that I'm tasting. So.
Do you remember the first time that I actually poured Kentucky Vintage for you?
Well, I do remember the first time you actually poured Kentucky Vintage, and we were at a Little League game in the outfield, and this was literally a kid's game out of a flask.
Yeah.
And I remember sipping it and thinking to myself, what is this? Because it is freaking delicious. And sure enough, Kentucky Vintage.
Yeah, so I know that we kind of talked about one of our whole ideas was to give you the history of distilleries. So we thought it would only be appropriate to teach you about American whiskey by introducing the first whiskey, which really has an unknown origin. So there's not a lot of actual factual information on this whiskey. There's a lot of deductive reasoning about the mash bill or where it comes from, how old it is. I think they've eliminated the fact that there's a lot of rumors that it was from Willett at some point, but based on actual age and when Willett started, couldn't actually have happened. So there's more of what it's not than what it is, which is one of the reasons I love it, because I feel like it's an under-the-radar bourbon. So we had like 4 or 5 bourbons, I think, that just kind of said, what is your daily drinker? That was the whole mission of this first kickoff is, hey, what is something that you can drink on the daily? So I wanted to balance that out. What is something that is drinkable, neat, amazing with an ice, and also great for a cocktail? I mean, this makes an amazing Manhattan. So because of its diversity, because of its availability, and because of its price point, I wanted to feature it because it's just something that nobody knows about. Nobody's out there trying to hoard it because they don't know what it is. It doesn't have the same heritage, but it's been around for a long time. It is a mash bill of, what was it? A mash of unknown age. But Kentucky Vintage is fantastic. You're going to get, so we're going to go straight into it. So what do you get from the nose? You're going to get some caramel, some milk chocolate, and I actually finished with a little bit of an almond. They kind of call that sometimes like an almond biscotti when you get some of those little bit of baking spices or toasty notes to it. Amazing on the nose from that standpoint. I think it's extremely clean, not overly alcoholic, but still has a bit of bite. You know it's bourbon. It's not something that's finished in port barrels and rounds it out to the point that it doesn't even smell like a whiskey anymore. So I love the fact that you still get a little bit of a corn note in the smell, the sweetness of corn.
Absolutely.
So then you get into it, and then it is a little woody. You get a little bit of the oak from it. They estimate that this is at least a 4-year-old bourbon. It's probably somewhere between 4 and 6 years blended. But you're going to get the American oak. You're going to get some of that almond. You're going to get some cinnamon. And then here's the thing for us, and you're going to learn this early on. One of our absolute sweet spots is anytime you get cherry cola. Cherry cola for us is the starting point of many lost nights. And this is one that for me has a middle body of cherry cola. If you're from the South like I am, there's cheer wine, but like a cherry Coke or something like that, that heavy cherry body is a middle piece of that just carries the flavor through. At the end of the back end, There is a light bit of tobacco, especially in your glass after you've finished and you kind of smell it again. But this isn't a tobacco bomb. It's not a vanilla bomb. It's not a caramel bomb. It's not one of those that's just like this. Hey, if you're trying to find whiskey and understand, like it is I'm experiencing this on a huge flavor profile. This isn't it. It's a little more complex. It's a little more subtle. It's a clean drinker. It's fantastic on ice, but it's really great in cocktails. But I have poured this many, many times for us, throwing darts, having a beer, just drinking it straight. And it is something that, I mean, you can see this guy, there's not that much left. And we've had multiple bottles of this, and we bottled this up for you guys. So that's what did you guys.
Well, I was just gonna say, there's also not like a medicinal sweetness to it. You
No,
know, it's a true sweetness, and I think you get that from the nose. You get it in the taste, and it's one of the reasons why I really like Kentucky Vintage is that sweet kind of flavor. And like Mike said, it's that cherry cola.
It's the corn. It's the corn and the cherry cola finish.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoy it. We think this is a great introduction into just hey. Right now, if you're getting into whiskey and you want to go get a daily drinker and start developing your palate, it's a great one for that. The next month, we've got a treat for you. It's going to be a 10-year whiskey, and it's something that is a flavor bomb. Absolutely. And we're going to send with that some tasting notes. And the next lesson is how to taste whiskey and how to taste bourbon in particular. But the one that we're sending you is a flavor bomb. So that's going to be exciting, but this one is a little bit more complex, a little more subtle, and something for you to just get started with, that not everything is going to be vanilla, tobacco, etc. This is a nice cherry cola middle finish, awesome for a Manhattan.
Just a good kickoff kind of bourbon.
Absolutely.
That we know you can find. It's readily available.
Yeah. Your Total Wine & More will almost, if you're anywhere near a Total Wine & More, they'll have this bottle. And this bottle is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 to $35, which you cannot beat.
No, it's like the kind of bottle you go and buy when you were looking for another bottle, and you buy that one. You think, well, maybe I should try that. And definitely try it.
And I love that it's still kind of beautiful. You got a wax coating. Yeah. You got a nice little gold seal. You've got like a vintage kind of burned label. It's a neat looking label that doesn't have quite a cult following, so it's still affordable. So we wanted to share this one with you. Enjoy it. We hope you enjoy it. Please comment below on anything you take away from it or anything you'd like to see from this. Otherwise, enjoy your sip, and we'll be back with you real shortly here in a few weeks with the follow-up, which is going to be a flavor bomb compared to this guy.
Absolutely. You guys take care.
All right, guys. Well, cheers. And you guys, we'll see you around the bend. Talk to you later.